You know, you can't choose your neighbors. If you could, everyone would live next door to Canada. On February 24th, 2022, Russia launched a full-scale invasion of its peaceful neighbor, Ukraine. A major power brutally invaded a smaller country, unprovoked, using rape as a weapon and killing civilians indiscriminately, burying them in mass graves. It was the type of attack that belongs in a different century, a different era. But it happened just last year. On October 7th, 2023, the Islamist terror group Hamas, based in Gaza, raided peaceful villages and communities in its neighbor Israel and tortured and raped and murdered innocent children, babies, women, unarmed men, and senior citizens. It was the type of massacre that belongs in a different century, a different era. But it happened just last month. Minister Blair, members of Parliament, members of the congressional delegation, distinguished officers, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues and friends, my name is Peter Van Praagh. On behalf of the HFX Board of Directors and everyone who worked to make this event possible, welcome to the 15th Annual Halifax International Security Forum. Ladies and gentlemen, Canada has a new Minister of National Defense, and in a few moments, the Honourable Bill Blair will take the podium. No, you can't choose your neighbors. Ukraine and Israel are democracies living beside neighbors who want to annihilate them. Neither Ukraine or Israel chose war, and yet both are fighting now to save their countries and their way of life. And it's not a coincidence that they are in this together. When Russia started this violent new era of global confrontation, Ukraine surprised the world by standing firm and fighting to defend itself. Western institutions woke up. Neutral countries joined NATO. Japan and South Korea had a breakthrough in their relations. And Vladimir Putin is afraid to leave his country. Ukrainian courage, Ukrainian sacrifice, and Ukrainian ingenuity have made us all stronger. And we owe an incredible debt of gratitude to President Zelensky and every single Ukrainian. All of them are heroes. If Ukraine had not fought, had Ukraine surrendered, as some European leaders urged President Zelensky to do, the world would be a very different place. Europe would be weaker, NATO would be divided, the United States would be humbled, and Russia and China would be empowered. But that's not what happened. Indeed, Ukraine's fight to save its democracy has been felt from Europe through the Middle East and Africa and all the way to East Asia. Isolating Russia from the international community brought the other authoritarians to Putin's aid. Now China and Russia and Iran and North Korea, we are calling them the crinks, are working to dismantle the global order, the system that did not simply allow Russia to swallow up its neighbor. It is because of Ukraine's very success and our collective support for Ukraine's victory that the crinks opened a new front in what is truly now a global confrontation against democracy and civilization. The agenda for the 15th Annual Halifax International Security Forum addresses head-on this dedicated effort to shift attention away from Putin's crimes in Ukraine. Victory in Ukraine, the phrase that appears in each of the 8 main plenary panels this year, reflects the simple truth that when Putin fails in Ukraine, solving all global issues peacefully will become easier. Issues related to food security, energy security, issues related to maintaining peace and security in East Asia, and yes, issues related to Middle East peace and security all become easier should Putin fail in Ukraine. The opposite is also true. Should Putin succeed, all global challenges will become more difficult and more dangerous and more costly. JFK liked to say that where you stand depends on where you sit. For countries sitting in the Indo-Pacific, it's natural that you worry most about China. If you sit in Europe, Russia is the biggest threat. Sitting in the Middle East, Iran and its proxies are a menace. East Asia, North Korea. If you sit in Washington, D.C., it's China, it's Russia, it's Iran, it's North Korea. The crinks are a global challenge, and it's not easy being the United States of America. And as a community of democracies, it's not fair to depend solely on America's shoulders. But they are big shoulders. And here at Halifax International Security Forum, we are so proud to have with us, for the 15th time, a very strong and significant congressional delegation. Senator Shaheen, I am so proud to say that you've been coming to Halifax International Security Forum since the very first one. Thank you for your confidence in what we do. Your voice is so important. Senator Risch, your worldview is vital at this time, and I am so happy to welcome you back. Thank you both for your leadership, Senator Shaheen and Senator Risch. Senator Coons, welcome back. It is great to see you here again. Senator Rounds, welcome back. Thank you for making the trip. Senator Welch, welcome to your first Halifax International Security Forum. We'll move you down to the front row eventually. And thank you, each of you, for making the trip. Thank you so much. Senators, your delegation sends an important message of unity of purpose to Americans and to the world. Every democracy, regardless of where they sit, needs to do more to contribute to global challenges that face us. We're all in this together. But as democracies, we will continue to look to the United States for global leadership. Written on the wall behind me are the agendas of past Halifax International Security Forums. The Halifax agenda titles have always been designed to make you stop and think, and this year only more so. The 2023 agenda reimagines the important conversations of the past by reintroducing titles from past forums, together with the date of the forum when it first appeared. In fact, the podium is over here this year because if it wasn't center stage, it would read anti-Israel right above my head and Minister Blair's head, and social media would love that. But just reading the titles, Iran, What Do We Do? 2009. Laws of War, Do They Work? 2009, tells us that as a community of democracies, we have known what the challenges have been for some time. When we leave Halifax back to our home countries, let's do more so that we will not still be talking about these same issues 15 years from now. Before I introduce Minister Blair, there are a few people who I'd like to welcome. Executive Director of the World Food Program, Cindy McCain. Mrs. McCain, I am proud to say, served on our board of directors before being called to international public service. We are so proud to have your name associated with the work we do. Thank you. Prime Minister Ehud Barak, see you in the room. We all remember when you first came to Halifax in 2010, when you were Minister of Defense. We learned from you then, and we look forward to learning from you tomorrow morning. Thank you for being here. Secretary Pritzker, welcome to Halifax. The work you will do to help Ukraine rebuild is vital to the future of Ukraine, Europe, and the world. Thank you. 2023 marks 6 years of our Peace with Women Fellowship that brings female officers to Canada and the United States for a 3-week study tour prior to this weekend. With us are officers from the UK, France, the Netherlands, Germany, New Zealand, Australia, the US, and Canada. Alumni from past years are with us as well. Building and nurturing this talented network of leaders from allied countries is something that we are very proud of, and you will hear more about the fellowship and their experiences directly from the fellows on Sunday morning. Fellows, welcome to Halifax. To mark our 15th year, HFX launched 15 at 15 Youth Building Democracy, a global contest for 15-year-old students to make a 15-second video about one positive change they want to see in their world 15 years from now. The winners are from the US, Nigeria, Jamaica, the Republic of Georgia, and Canada. And 3 of our student winners were able to make the trip. Koshin from Canada, Sophia from Georgia, and Michaela from Jamaica are all here. Where are they? Where are they? They're shy. Congratulations, and we'll be watching the videos on Sunday morning. I want to take a moment to thank the people who make this weekend work. The true secret of our success is the gorgeous venue here at the Westin Nova Scotian and the warmth of the people who work here. Adding to that warmth are 30 refugees from Ukraine working here at the Westin Nova Scotian, all of whom are simultaneously feeling the pain of being far from their home while the people they love are in danger, and proud to be welcomed warmly to Nova Scotia, to Canada. Thank you. We also have many local volunteers from the Halifax community. They are identifiable by their white lanyards, and I know are looking forward to helping you. I want to thank Club HFX, the group of pro-democracy businesses that most generally supports our work. Calgary-based Nancy Southern, who's here every year, was not able to make it, and I'm sorry not to welcome her back this year. Dr. Brendan Nelson, president of Boeing Global, welcome to Halifax. Bill McCaffrey, founder of Calgary-based Meg Energy, who started Club HFX more than 10 years ago, welcome back. And representing Oyak of Turkey is Emre Timurkan. Thank you for being here. Although he can't be here this weekend, I also want to thank Istanbul-based Ahmet Çolak, chairman of Çolak Holding, for his steadfast support. Together, Club HFX ensures that the work we do here this weekend and throughout the year will continue. In short, without them, there would be no Halifax International Security Forum. Thank you. Brendan and Emre and senior members of their teams will be identified this weekend, and we have to get them for you. I noticed you don't have it yet, by your gold lobster pin. When you see them, please do take a moment to stop and say thank you for their very generous support. Just like this, thank you for your very generous support. I also want to thank AWS, Google, Anduril, Apple, CADSI, CAE, MDA, Pansofico, and YouTube for your support. We can't do this without you. Thank you also to NATO and to the European Union. Your support has been fundamental, and I'm glad to have General Bragger, chairman of the EU Military Committee, with us this weekend. Thank you, Ipsos, for your generous cooperation. Thank you, Politico, Foreign Affairs Magazine, our media partners. And thank you to the Government of Canada. The Department of National Defence, the Canadian Forces, and the Atlantic Canada Opportunities Agency, ACOA, for your enthusiastic support. Literally, we would not be here without you. Deputy Minister of Defence, oh, the Deputy Minister of Defence, Bill Matthews, there you are. Thank you. General Eyre, Chief of Canada's Defence Staff, thank you for your confidence in us. President of ACOA, Catherine Blewett, thank you. We could not have a better partner than the Government of Canada. During the weekend, I'm told to tell you, please use social media to convey your thoughts on our on-the-record sessions. Our hashtag is HISF 2023. Please do not use social media during our off-the-record sessions. The chair of our board of directors is Canadian icon, Professor Janice Stein. U.S. Ambassador Mark Lippert is our vice chair. Janice, Mark, thank you for your leadership. Treasurer Ahmet Tocildiz of Turkey, President Kalinda Grabar-Kitarovic of Croatia, Dr. Luis Rubio of Mexico, and JJ Omojuwa of Nigeria, thank you, each of you, for your wisdom, guidance, and support. We have the best board of directors. We also have the best team who put this weekend on for you. Please thank them when you have the chance. Recognizing who is with us in the room makes us realize who is not with us this year. One of Russia's bravest Democrats, Vladimir Kara-Murza, won't be able to join us again this year because he's in a Moscow prison cell. Vladimir's wife, Evgenia, is here and will be talking with Roger Carstens, the U.S. Special Envoy for Hostage Affairs. Thank you both for being here. Tomorrow morning, we will again miss having Senator John McCain with us as we award the 2023 John McCain Prize for Leadership in Public Service. Senator McCain's vision of a better future shaped by the world's democracies was the inspiration for starting the forum in 2009, and we miss him. With us this year is Peter MacKay, who, as Canada's Minister of Defence, started this forum in 2009. If there is any question as to why we are in Halifax each November, it is because Peter lives a short drive away. Peter, your friendship means a great deal to me, and your vision for this forum for democracies means a great deal to the whole world. Tragically, Peter and I lost a close friend this year, John McDonnell, who worked with Peter in 2009 and who was one of the forum's founders. Many people here this weekend will miss John being here as well. The attacks on Ukraine and Israel are different in nature, but they are connected. Both test the world's democracies. The tactics used by the crinks in this multi-theater conflict include the weaponization of food, manipulating social media to influence global public opinion, and applying modern technologies for malevolent purposes, and shocking violence against civilians. President Zelensky's inspiring leadership and the courage of the Ukrainian people and the people of Israel, however strong, need the democracies to come together with them to stop this multi-front global attack. But as a community of democracies, it matters how we respond to these tests. Executive Director McCain, seeing you here reminds me of when John sat right there and said famously in November 2016, "We will not torture." It matters how we fight. We have to fight like the better systems that we represent. It might not be fair, but that's the cost of being a civilized democracy in the 21st century. And we will not let the crinks win by dragging us back into a darker era with them. You know, you can't choose your neighbors, but together with your friends who you do choose, the conditions can be created to live side by side and in peace. Ultimately, they have to be. Indeed, there is no challenge that cannot be met when the democracies work together. Thank you. Welcome to Halifax.